It's by John Kabat-Zinn, and it's entitled Be the Mountain. And so sitting planted firmly in your seat, feet shoulder-width apart, sitting centered, lifting your shoulders up and back and down, opening up the heart chakra, the throat chakra, making yourself wholly available to dive within, to that place where all life is indivisible. All that I am, all that each of us is, and all that comprises this thing called life around us. And so calling forth, as you begin to dive into the stillness today, what environmental energetic speaks to you? Be it the ocean, alongside a lake, hiking up a mountaintop, connecting to the breeze moving in, through, and as you draw in a full deep inhalation, and then exhaling slowly and sustained for twice as long. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. And so as you're connecting viscerally to this sense of a light, beautiful, balmy breeze moving in, through, and as your breath, notice if there are any pockets of residual energy left off from even the moment before this one, and the moment before that, and the moment before that. Allowing yourself to be fully present to receive the gift that is this sacred now as we rest into the stillness. And so whatever the setting is that you've anchored yourself in, still continuing to allow the body to ride effortlessly on that wind that's moving in, through, and as the physical body temple. Send the healing breath to any places that aren't quite here within the body. Lulling the body into the sanctity that is this space now. And from a consciousness of witness, watching the thoughts as they pass by without resisting them, without labeling them as good thoughts or bad thoughts, thoughts that bring you deeper into center or those that distract you, because these are all human terms. And thoughts are simply thoughts passing by. So as you witness those thoughts, I ask you to call forth now the majesty of a beautiful palatial mountain. And bring your sensations deeper and deeper still to the breath within and the gentle rhythm that the lull of the wind is creating within you, letting it be just as it is. Each full inhalation announcing the opportunity to exhale, inhaling and exhaling. So as you expand your awareness to the sensations of your body, sit upright and call forth the quality of dignity. Allowing yourself to sit anchored in that That is the throne of the Most High, yours by right of divine inheritance. Sitting with dignity, again the shoulders are up and back and down. Bring your attention to the surface beneath you and the support that the ground provides. Root your body into its strength and become aware of your connection to the ground beneath you, much like the root system of a tree. Calling into your awareness now and then the vision of that luxurious mountain that surrounds you. You are grounded by the mountain's unwavering resolve. It is present forevermore. As you sit and you visualize this mountain, whose peaks pierce smoky clouds and continue upward where the air is clear and the view is endless, see this mountain with slopes that are both jagged and gentle, supported by a vast foundation, rooted deeply in the bedrock of the earth. This mountain is a monument to all that is solid and grand and unmoving and beautiful. Allow those qualities to speak to the essence of who you are. Solid, grand, unmoving, beautiful. Do you see trees around you? A snow blanket? Perhaps waterfalls cascading as mist into an open sky? Whatever it is that you envision, let it be as it is, a perfect creation. Embrace this mountain. Merge with it. Allow it to be as you. Seamless, inseparable. Bask in its stillness, its solidarity. Grounded in your posture, your head is skyward, peaking toward the realm of the Most High, supported by the rest of your earthly form, granting you an awe-inspiring perspective of the landscape before you, behind you, above you, below you, and around you. It flows from the center into the distant horizon. Allow yourself to be at one with this mountain. Take on its stability as your own, from the top of the crown of your head, your Ajna chakra, that of higher consciousness, awakening, enlightened knowing, down your neck and into the balance of your shoulders like cliffs, descending into your arms and your forearms, coming to rest in the valley of your upward-facing palms. Be that mountain. Your feet, your legs, your hips are its base, solid and rooted beneath you. A foundation. Extending up your spine, your abdomen, the core of your stability. The rhythm of your breath is all that moves within you now. A living mountain, ever alive, ever aware, yet unwavering in its inner stillness, no matter what happens around it. Allow yourself to be, to own what and who you are, beyond word and thought. A centered, grounded, unmovable presence. This is your divinity. This is your unshakable, unwavering truth. A mountain which witnesses the sun traveling across the sky casts light and shadows and colors across its consistent composure, moment by sacred moment. In the mountain stillness, the surface teems with life and activity. Snow melts, streams run down its face. Trees and flowers bloom and die and bloom again all around it. As the wildlife comes in and departs with the changes of the seasons. Steadfast, anchored nonetheless. Be the mountain who will be called beautiful and inspiring and dark and ominous. The mountain that knows that it is all of those things and less and more. Be the mountain which sits and sees how night follows day and back again. The mountain which knows the sun by the warmth it brings on rising, and the stars by the way they show up sparkling in a darkened sky. Through it all, the mountain sits, steadfast. She's aware of the changes that each moment brings around it and to it, yet she remains herself still. As the seasons flow one into the other, and the air swirls from hot and cold, and the weather turns from tame to turbulent, some so treacherous as to tear at its surface, nonetheless, she remains steadfast. None of this concerns the mountain, whose serenity is housed within and cannot be disturbed by fleeting furor. In the same way, as you sit here now, consciously allowing yourself to steep in the benefits of stillness, each of us can learn to experience the mountain as a means to embody that same centeredness, that unwavering stillness, that infinite groundedness in the face of all that changes around us. Over seconds, over hours, over years. Like the mountain, you will experience the changing nature of your mind and body and the world all around you. You will have periods varying in intensity of darkness and light, of activity and inactivity, and moments that fill your life with splendor and color. Through it all, you're at choice to be the mountain and call on its patient, unbending, unyielding strength and stability within you. Let it empower you to encounter each moment with mindful composure and compassionate clarity. And so allowing yourself a few remaining sacred moments to dive deeper and deeper still into this sublime centeredness that is the mountain. Imagine that as you step out today into this world, into the appearance of tumult and discord and dis-ease, disharmony, that you are willing to be that you truly are in the midst of it. Solidarity in the midst of seeming chaos, unyielding in the midst of potential threat or tumult. Unwavering when fear wants to consume. And so I know that as each of us steps out today, heart first, anchored fully in the human experience, rooted deeply into the ground that has supported the mountain for eons, timeless time, that we can recall this anchoring in that mountain consciousness that is ours to claim, and that we can remember that although we are moving through the human experience, we are forever rooted and simultaneously elevated from a place of the Most High. Spiritual beings forevermore, navigating this thing called life. And so I bless this time. I bless each of us gathered here today. I bless whatever connection to the imagery in today's meditation, whatever speaks to you now, and that might unfold over the course of the day or the course of the week. Knowing that whatever your soul chooses to remember, it will. That it's there to lean into, like the mountain. I bless this time, this precious present, as we gradually, slowly, patiently, and reverently ease back into the space of the room. Absolutely taking our time about it. The mind unifying with the body, ever inspired by the breath of spirit, slowly and gently back into the space of the room. And then finally, allowing the eyes to remain gently closed, rubbing the hands together, creating the heat that is the fire within you. Placing your hands on your eyes and taking one final full inhalation and exhalation, making a silent agreement within your deepest sense of self to let go of the time-blinded eyes and to be willing to see with the eyes of a child today as you step out into the world. I bless this time. Thank you. Namaste.
Check one. Welcome. Thank you, Reverend Caitlin. I get just a little more guitar, please? Nylon guitar? I think it's channel 11 or something. Iris. Nylon guitar? Thank you. That might be too much. Bring it down a little. Swing wide the door. Swing wide the doors to let in the light. Bring in the dawn for humankind.
That's Gilman.
Swing wide the doors of this heart of mine. Swing wide the doors, the time is right. Swing wide the doors to let in the light. Bring in the dawn for humankind. Swing wide the doors of this heart of mine. I'm not holding it in anymore. I wanna shout it out loud. I understand now what I'm here for. What this life is about.
It's about love. It's about laughter. It's about comfort and smiles. It's about love. It's about kindness. It's about hearts open wide. It's about love. It's about passion. It's about taking a chance. It's about love. It's about service. About lending a hand. Lending a hand.
Swing wide the doors, the time is right. Swing wide the doors to let in the light. Bring in the dawn for humankind. Swing wide the doors of this heart of mine. There's a voice that I've heard for years. I learned to keep it inside. Well, now it's coming in loud and clear. I want a deeper life.
It's about love. It's about laughter. It's about comfort and smiles. It's about love. It's about kindness. It's about hearts open wide. It's about love. It's about passion. About taking a chance. It's about love. It's about service. It's about lending a hand. Said it's about love. It's about laughter. It's about comfort and smiles. It's about love. It's about kindness. It's about hearts open wide. It's about love. It's about passion. It's about taking a chance. It's about love. It's about service. It's about lending a hand. Lending a hand.
Wide the doors, the time is right. Swing wide the doors to let in the light. Bring in the dawn for humankind. Swing wide the doors of this heart of mine. Yeah, swing wide the doors. Time is right. Right now, swing wide the doors. Let in the light. Bring in the dawn for humankind. Swing wide the doors of this heart of mine. Swing wide the doors of this heart of mine. All right.
That's the Gill Man.
Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Center for Spiritual Living Redlands. Thank you, everyone who is joining us on Facebook Live and YouTube, and everybody that's here in the beautiful sanctuary. My name is Sonja Prince. I'm the spiritual director, and it is truly a privilege and an honor to welcome you to our Sunday celebration service. CSL Redlands is a new thought community living an ancient wisdom philosophy based on the science of mind. The science of mind philosophy was developed in the early 20th century by writer and lecturer Reverend Dr. Ernest Holmes. Dr. Holmes studied truths from all the world's religious traditions and spiritual paths and developed a fresh new way for us to look at ourselves and how we fit into our world. CSL Redlands is an open and inclusive community honoring all people from every background, all races, sexual orientation, gender expressions, and spiritual paths. No matter who you are or where you are on your spiritual journey, your journey of faith, you are always welcome here. Our purpose is to awaken humanity to its spiritual magnificence, and our vision is a world that works for everyone. If you're here for the first time, please raise your hand. Yay! Yay! We want to properly greet you, so the usher will come up and give you a packet. We know that you have a choice for your spiritual community. And again, we are delighted to have you with us today. And a gentle reminder to please silence your cell phones. Now we are going to go to the announcements. So the announcements are located on the back of your little program here. So I won't read them all. I'll just give you some highlights. Wake up and meditate with me. It's a daily spiritual practice, and I have been enjoying it with a couple of people from our center here from Monday through Friday at 7 a.m. in the morning. We're on Zoom for about 15 minutes. You don't have to come on camera if you don't want to, but we still participate in our meditations. So the Visionaries of Love Visioning Team will meet on Sunday, August the 12th at 12 p.m. 12 p.m. right here in our sanctuary at the back table. Donate a meal for the women's shelter. If anyone is interested in donating a meal or volunteering for the CSL Redlands Women's Safe Shelter, please see Jean or Ed. So now I'm going to drop down to books. We have a book sale after the service today. We have some wonderful cookbooks that have been donated, and the proceeds will go to the continual revitalization of our center and our practitioner room. We have a toiletry drive. So if you look on that table over there, what you'll see is a table with toothbrushes, toothpastes, deodorant, shampoo. And so this is a drive that Holly came up with. We're going to do it twice a year. We will collect these items, and then we'll be passing them out as an outreach to our homeless population in our area. We also have a spare change drive. If you look on the table next to it, you see these cute little blue pigs. So we want you to sign one out, take it home, fill it up with change, bring it back. We'll empty it, and then you can take it home again. We're going to be doing this until around December 31st, and the proceeds will go through our sandwich program. So we have a brown bag sandwich program. They meet on Saturday mornings at 8 a.m. They make sandwiches, and they put chips and fruit, and they take it to the homeless in the park down here. So we need your smiling faces to be ushers and greeters. If you have a friendly face and you like service, we're looking for you. Please see me after service if you're interested in being an usher or a greeter. What I know about you, I know that you are magnificent. You are loved here, right where you are. Because right where you are, God is. And now we'll have our centering music performed by Gilman.
Our drummer, Mac, is going to help me on this one. Very lightly and the words here. Everything's a part of me, animals and rocks and trees. I relate responsibly, all life is my kin. Everything's a part of me, lovers, friends, and families. I relate responsibly, all life is my kin. Everything's a part of me, planets, stars, and galaxies. I relate responsibly, all life is my kin. Everything's a part of me, animals and rocks and trees. I relate responsibly, all life is my kin. All life is my kin.
Thank you so much for that, Gilman. It was absolutely sublime. Okay, I'm going to start today. I'm Reverend Caitlin, and I will start with today's wisdom reading.
In the mic, can we get the pulpit mic on?
It's not on? Test. Yeah, there we go. Okay, wisdom reading. Forget not that the earth delights to feel your bare feet, and the winds long to play with your hair. And that one's from Khalil Gibran. It is the nature of the universe to give us what we are able to take. It cannot give us more. It has given all. We have not yet accepted the greater gift, and that's Ernest Holmes. John O'Donohue, one of my people. Beauty, the invisible embrace. It never occurs to us to wonder how the earth sees us. Is it not possible that a place could have huge affection for those who dwell there? Perhaps your place loves having you there. It misses you when you're away, and in its own secret way, it rejoices when you return. Could it be possible that a landscape might have a deep friendship with you? That it could sense your presence and feel the care that you extend toward it? Perhaps your favorite place feels proud of you. The earth is not outside of us, it is within, the clay from where the tree of the body grows. When we emerge from our offices, our rooms, houses, we enter our natural element. We are children of the earth, people to whom the outdoors is home. Nothing can separate us from the vigor and vibrancy of this inheritance. And so, as we rest into the picturesque imagery that is the gift of planet Earth, I rest in and steep in the deepest places within my own anchored consciousness in order to speak this word today, availing myself to download all that is Spirit's idea for this prayer. And I recognize with a smile that's coming from the back of my throat and moving through my face that indeed planet Earth is alive and available to give and receive love, that it is ever flowing, the rivers infinite, the mountains steadfast, the skies spacious, that planet Earth is the beauty that it is, to remind us when that shows up on the realm of appearance and circumstance and condition, that when we scratch the surface, the beauty is solid nonetheless. And so I know that as I speak this word today, that a renewed commitment is moving in through and as me now, awakening my spirit to this call to connect deeper and deeper still, for me, with the ocean that I long to walk on, to reconnect to my source. And I know that as I'm speaking this word, because there is only one life going on, that each of us is recognizing that special place of quietude that nature provides for us, that is still there, ever beckoning us to reclaim it as home. Home, where the true heart of the divine resides in all of its splendor and magnificence. And so in this time, in this space of basking in all the gifts that nature reveals, I recognize that there's a spirit of renewal happening now. There's a spirit of dancing lightly in the open fields and running in the waters of the ocean and the lakes. That there's a climbing of the trees or the sitting beneath them to simply be still. That nature is beckoning. And so as my spirit smiles to this invitation, I affirm that all of us were gathered here today, seeking something in the way of a reminder that divine harmony is indeed at the center of everything, and that there's God's will in all of its magnificent expression and our limited opinion on it. God's will is ever sublime, ever splendid, ever magnificent, ever infinite, ever the possibility of renewal. So I give thanks for all of us gathered here today, for all that have been called to service, to this service today, all the busyness and preparation to bring together today that we show up for the souls that gathered to paint our walls in this beautiful earthly green, to give us the serenity that earthly color provides. And so I bless this time. I bless this remembering. I bless this opportunity to snap out of spiritual amnesia and to remember that nature is ever available to give. And that our responsibility, as Gilman sang about today, is to honor and to love it back. And so from a consciousness of profound gratitude for that is moving through every pore of who I am now, I give profound thanks for the opportunity that it is to speak this word, for the remembering that truth known on this deep a level cannot help but be made manifest as God's idea of infinite expression. And so I know that I'm speaking on behalf of all of us when we allow ourselves to receive that gift fully today, to recommit to that is nature around us. And so as I release my word and I step out into that is the human experience, I proclaim on behalf of us all and those that we hold in our hearts and in our consciousness that we can remember and reconnect to, that constant reminder that is nature, if we momentarily forget the truth of who we are. And so I release my word, and I proclaim it to be, guided by the infinite intelligence that created this planet. And together we say, and so it is. Amen.
Thank you, Reverend Caitlin. This is a song that I wrote about 5.5 years ago. And you're supposed to have lyrics on your lyric sheets on your tables. Okay. Phil's got his. I think Phil was there when I premiered this song. We had a big benefit for the Standing Rock Indians. So I wrote this for the Standing Rock Indians, and there was a lot in the papers at the time about what they were against. I think we all know what they were against, but I had to think about what are they fighting for? And basically they're fighting for two things: clean air and clean water. That's what they were fighting for. So let's skip down to the bottom and read the revised Conservation Pledge. The original Conservation Pledge was from 1946, and it was signed by President Truman, but then they revised it in 1993. So can we read this together, and then I'll show you your part in the song, okay? Here we go. I pledge to protect and conserve the natural resources of America. I promise to educate future generations so they may become caretakers of our air, water, land, and wildlife. Thank you. And so now your part is just the first little couplet here where it says, "The power of the sun is free and infinite, we only need to gather it." But don't sing that until I get down to the part that's in italics. That's the counterpoint. I'll be singing the counterpoint. You just keep going with the chant, okay?
We'll help you
And
with that.
I need some guitar here. Can I get some guitar, please? Nylon guitar. Thank you. Okay. The power of the sun is free and infinite. We only need to gather it. The power of the sun is free and infinite. We only need to gather it. The power of the wind is free and infinite. We only need to harness it. The power of the wind is free and infinite. We only need to harness it. And the power of water is free and infinite. We only need to channel it. The power of water is free and infinite. We only need to channel it. We are the
Power of the sun is free and infinite.
of this land. Does not belong to mortal man. Grandfather planted in this place. Earth Mother blessed us with her grace. It's up to us, the chosen one, The power of resolve is free and infinite. We only need to strengthen it. We only need to strengthen it. And the power of unity is free and infinite. We only need togetherness. The power of unity is free and infinite. We only need togetherness. Thank you. Thank you very much. Gonna get the guitar off now. Thank you.
Thank you, Dream Band. And thank you, everyone who has been participating in the service up here on the platform. And I just want to extend some gratitude to Iris and Holly because they're pitch hitting today. And I'm a little echoey, but you know, let's give them a hand. They're doing the best that they can, you know? So I appreciate you. We appreciate you. So I just wanted to do that. Al is going to play us a birthday song. Do we have any August birthdays? Well, we don't have any in the sanctuary. When Al comes back, we'll still sing the birthday songs. We might have some August birthdays on Facebook Live or on YouTube channel. But I have a special acknowledgement, also another special acknowledgement. As you can see, as you came in today, it looks a little bit different, right? Right? So I have, Gilman, could you bring me that vase, please? I want you to know that, not that one, the one on the table, please. Around you. So I want to, oh. So yesterday I arrived here about 8 o'clock. I'll say 8 o'clock. Arrived here about 8 o'clock and, you know, got set up. And I want to acknowledge Eileen Swinson, so please come up. For Eileen was here, what time did you leave, about 3:30 or so? A little later than that. A little later than that. About 5 o'clock. Thank you for being here, and thank you for your support yesterday. And then I want to acknowledge Maria Garcia, who was here as well, and she had a paintbrush in her hand, and she had a vacuum. Thank you so much for all your support yesterday. And Ashton is not here, but that's Sandra Blackman's son, and he is just magnificent. He's magnificent. I think I said goodbye to Sandra yesterday about 6:30. About 6:30. And I'd like to acknowledge you. Please come up. And I have something for Ashton too, but I'll give you that later. So we were here about 10 hours. I think I said bye to Jean about 7:30, because Jean came over and you know, we brought the water in on those big jugs of water and then the little waters for the service. And we waved goodbye at 7:30. But look what we accomplished. And I want you to know that this is only the first phase. Eileen did a mock-up, and we're going to be giving that to you as soon as we get it, so you can see what the vision is and what it's going to look like when we finish all 3 stages of the facial here. So it was very exciting. It was very, I think we were exhausted. But I just want to acknowledge that. So thank you again for being here, for all your support. Sandra had she had a paintbrush in her hand, and at one point, it got a little tricky because you see there's stairs. There's 3 steps down here, but you got to get way up there, and the ladder only extends so far. So we talked about us getting on each other's shoulders so we could reach up there. But we had a great time. We got some downtime. We sat down and we had some cherries and some food. But I just, again, thank you. Again, thank you. And I heard Sandra tell her son, teamwork makes the dream work. And she also kept calling him her favorite son. So I acknowledge that, and he's a delightful person. So, good morning again. Al, did you want to come on up? Let's do the birthday song for our August birthdays. There might be some, although there's not any in the room, there may be some on Facebook Live or YouTube. So if that is the case, if you're August birthday, this is for you.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, August babies. August babies. Happy birthday to you.
Thank you. Oh, that was you, Phil. Okay, so now that we have all that out of the way, we're going to jump right into our topic today. So it's August, and the monthly theme for August, well, you know, our global theme for this year is Living Everyday Wonder. And so in July, we talked about relationships, and we explored our relationship with the cosmos. And so we found out that we are star stuff. That we found that the essential elements of life, which is carbon, hydrogen, nitrogen, oxygen, phosphorus, and sulfur, are the building blocks of life on Earth. And so what we found out is that in our DNA, we find some of those same elements. And in not only in ours, in everything else. So we are star stuff, and we are one with the cosmos. We are one with nature. In the Science of Mind teaching, Ernest Holmes tells us that everything that exists is a manifestation of the divine mind, and it is merely expressed by the form. The manifest universe is the body of God. So it is expressed by its form. So I'm expressing in this form. The trees are expressing in their form. The stars are expressing in their form. The animals, the plants, you get the picture. We're all expressing in the form that we are made in. So the August focus is on nature and how we relate to nature. So the idea is we don't live outside of it, that we're an integral part of nature. We are all connected. So that is the topic for this entire month of August, but I'm going to go a little further than that. So I was looking on the internet to find the books that will support this topic. So I'm going to be diving into this book, and the book is called Claiming Earth as Common Ground: The Equal Ecological Crisis to the Lens of Faith. So we're going to be looking at it through the lens of faith, the ecological crisis through the lens of faith. And that is a book by Andrea Cohen-Kiner. And she's the director of the Interreligious Eco-Justice Network. So I'll be reading that book and bringing some of that to us to support this topic of nature and how we relate to it. So the talk title today is The Earth Force Report for Duty. So when I heard the title, I'm like, Earth Force Report to Duty. Well, you know, I have 4 kids and I have 2 grandchildren. So I thought of Buzz Lightyear. So I was thinking to myself, what am I going to wear? Do I wear my helmet, my spacesuit, and report to duty? Do I come in a military uniform and say, I'm reporting for duty? So I decided on this earthly flowy dress. I thought I'd be Mother Nature today. So Earth Force report to duty. So attention, all planetary citizens, that's you and you and you. Earth Force needs you right now. Report for duty to nurture, to protect planet Earth. So join us. Join like-minded individuals in supporting and support of this worthy and noble cause. Don't you think it's a noble and worthy cause? So experience that everyday wonder in nature right where you are. So this month is an invitation to explore and deepen our connection with God as everything and everyone on this amazing living planet to live as one. So our spiritual principle in Science of Mind is we believe that heaven is within us and that we experience it to the degree that we become conscious of it. So I don't know about you, but I want to experience heaven right here on earth because this is where I am. So heaven is under our feet as well as over our heads. And Henry David Thoreau said that. So what is under our feet and what is over our heads? The earth and the sky. The earth and the sky. So Mother Earth, isn't that our planet, Mother Earth? We call it Mother Earth. Somebody might call it Gaia, which is a goddess, the Greek goddess of earth. Terra is Latin for the earth mother. A mother, what is a mother? A mother is associated with care and affection. We can agree that earth is our mother. Can we not agree that earth is our mother? And can we agree that it's important to take care of our mothers? Our Mother Earth as well as our own mothers. Because what happens in the family when the mother's not taken care of? Chaos. Can I hear some more words? What is it? Things fall apart when we don't take care of the mothers. Nothing gets done. The house, if we're talking about human mothers, the house is in shambles. The dishes are piled high, the vacuuming doesn't get done, the beds don't get made. So imagine what would happen if we don't think about taking care of our mother, Mother Earth. We're seeing it, right? We are seeing it, and we will talk about that. So here's a story that supports this topic, and it's related to a book. So this is a science fiction novel, and it's about the coming climate catastrophe where millions of people leave the planet, and millions become climate refugees. And so this book is by Kim Stanley Robinson. And so it says, by the end of the book, there's hope that humanity will actually be able to keep things from spinning out of control. And Robinson believes that we could either crash the biosphere and thus civilization, or we could actually create a really high-functioning and prosperous civilization using permaculture. A sustainable and just civilization on the planet and the biosphere, he says, both the utter disaster and the quiet, great semi-utopia historical moments, these things are available to us. So we can either crash the earth or we can become what we are and recognize that we're one with it. So we can live in a semi-utopian environment. So we have seen climate change in movies. And this refers to climate change refers to the temperatures, the weather patterns, threatening of the rising of the seas. And don't get me wrong, I'm not making light of it, I'm just being dramatic because of the book. So this is the book. So our waterways are being polluted. The effects of trash on our aquatic plants and the coral reef, and the most common debris that we see in our oceans these days is plastic, metal, rubber, and paper. And that's just to name a few things. So these climate disasters in the movie often leads to dire consequences for humans on the planet. And sometimes the story ends with a few survivors limping along and, trying to get back to normal. But the reality is that we are moving in a direction every day, and the global climate changes are becoming our new form. Did anybody notice in the last couple of weeks, it's been really humid. It's been really hot and really humid. So climate change is real. So a quote from Zeno, he writes, "The goal of life is living in agreement with nature." We want to live in agreement with nature. The reality is that the end is not decided yet, that we have the capacity to change the story. And I know Iris, our sound technician today, is a real big proponent of saving the earth, not using things that are wasteful. She'll tell you that. I think she hid the plastic bags the other day. But I applaud her. She doesn't like waste, and she doesn't like to have things that are going to end up in the landfills or end up in our oceans. A lot of us are like that as well, but Iris is very vocal about it. I said one day, "We're having a potluck. Can we use paper plates?" She said, "No." "Can we use paper napkins?" "Yes." "Can we use paper forks?" "No." So, Iris, I hope you don't mind me teasing you from here. Okay. So in Genesis 1st chapter 26 to 28th verse, it says, "Let them, humankind, have dominion over the fish in the seas and over the birds in the air, the cattle, and everything that creeps on the earth." So mankind, humankind, is the environmental stewards of the earth. We are the environmental stewards of this earth, our mother, this planet that we live on, that we are in a symbiotic relationship with. So, as above, so below, as within, so without. So we need to take care of our mother, and our mother will take care of us. So how do we do this? We need to be in a state of balance. We need to balance it. How do we begin? Well, we know balance is a state of equilibrium. Has anybody ever had vertigo? It's not even worth bringing up because it's like I have nightmares about it. So imagine our Mother Earth being in balance and being in a state of vertigo. We need to get into alignment. So what does it mean for alignment? It's a distribution of weight. Has anybody had to have a front alignment on their car? Because, it's like, and then we take it in and we have it balanced. We have that front end alignment, and then we're riding smoothly after that. And then we need to be in harmony. So harmony is a mental steadiness and emotional stability. So we need to be in emotional stability about us and where we're planted on this earth. So we need to be in balance, in alignment, and in harmony. And by remembering that, we need to remember that life cannot be divided against itself. So it's not the earth and us, but we are one. Isn't that what our teaching tells us? So what is true about our planet is that it is life-sustaining, but only can be life-sustaining if we keep it in balance. So I think sometimes I know me, I'll get up in the morning and I'm just going about my day and I'm just driving along or doing what I have to do, and I never give thought of the planet. You know, I never give thought of that. I don't know. You know, we get mixed up in our busyness of the day, and we forget to give thanks. And I can only speak for myself, for our planet and where we live. So when you write in your gratitude journal tonight, if you have one, write, I am so happy and I am so grateful and thankful for this beautiful planet that I live on, that sustains me, that provides food, clean air, water, fresh water, that the beautiful oceans, the majestic mountains that Caitlin spoke about in her meditation, the song that Gilman sang. We're all connected to that. So let's be grateful and give thanks for it. So when I say earth, when I say that when I say we have a relationship with it and we need to report to duty, that means that we are stewards of this earth and we need to take care of it. So we're going to talk about now some ways that we can do that. So things to remember. We need to look further, or how we treat ourselves, our other human beings, and the planet. So I'm saying that to say that I sang this song one time about we are all one. And so I'm saying we're one with each other. We're one with the cosmos. We're one with the planet. We're one with the rocks, the water, the air, the plants, and the animals. And we don't want to be ignorant about it and think that we're not, because we see what happens when we do. We have our landfills. So let us remember that we need to reclaim our oneness and know that there is only one life. We're living that life right now, and we're living it on this planet. We are the inhabitants of this planet. We are connected to this planet, and we need to care for this planet. We talk about self-care for ourselves. We need to practice self-care for our planet, or care for our planet. You agree, Phil? So, you know, in Science of Mind, we give practical applications for that. So I'm going to give you some things that you can take away with you. So take time daily to observe, reflect, and appreciate nature, the nature around you. So one of the things that I do now is, and I think I'm in trouble with my neighbors for it, is I do a lot of gardening. And so right between my driveway and the neighbor's house, I have this there's this massive tomato plant. It's like 3 types of tomatoes, the big boys, the little cherry tomatoes, and then there's some medium-sized one. And it's almost in their front door. So Daryl's like, did you need to put it there, Sonja? You know, the neighbors, they might want to get out of their house. So I've started gardening. So I have this beautiful tower garden, and I grow greens. And so I'm just saying that we need to nurture. Our Mother Earth is giving us life-sustaining food. But if we don't take care of it, we won't have life-sustaining food. We won't have drinkable and fresh water. We won't have clean air to breathe. So one of the things we can also do is remember daily to take a deep breath. One of the things that I know about us, we take very shallow breaths. You know, we don't really breathe deeply unless somebody instructs us to. Caitlin may have said, take in a deep breath. Now release it. But one thing I know about babies, they always take in deep breaths, don't they? Especially when they're crying. They take in big, deep breaths. And singers take in deep breaths because the stomach extends. And that's where they can get those notes out. So just remember, take a deep breath and give gratitude for the fresh air that you're breathing. And give some gratitude and thanks for the fresh water that you're drinking and the food that comes from Mother Earth. So I'm going to ask you this week, take some time to unplug from technology on a daily basis and step out into nature. Create a space of connection with nature. Go and smell the flowers. Go and plant a flower, plant a tree. Do some community outreach. One thing I know about this Center for Spiritual Living Redlands is we participated in the cleanup and planting on, is that Main Street or State Street? On State Street down. So you might want to do that. I mean, it will bring joy into your life, into your heart. How many of us participated in that? I think Phil did. We had T-shirts. I think Holly did. We had T-shirts that said Center for Spiritual Living Redlands, and Phil has on his T-shirt right now, and we were doing our part. When you see some trash and debris on the ground, just pick it up and put it in the closest receptacle. We need to take care of Mother Earth. Consider that when you're walking down on the beach and you see something. Caitlin talked about wanting to go to the beach. There's a lot of debris that ends up on our beaches too. So take a little care for our mother, our earth, Mother Earth, because we truly are in a relationship with it. We are one with it. So as we take care of our mother, we take care of ourselves. So, in closing today, I want to invite you to, like I said, pick up some things if you see trash and debris. Take in some deep breath. Join a community project that cleans up a neighborhood or cleans up a school, whatever might be going on in your community. I know one of the things that we had the pleasure of doing in another community I was in was helping a school out and going and picking up trash and making it safe for the elementary students to come back to school for their next year. So we can do that. So remember, when we take care of our mother, which is Mother Earth, we take care of ourselves. So I'm going to close with this affirmation. And I'm going to say it, and then we can say it together. I'll repeat it. So the affirmation is, I am one with all of life on planet Earth. So let's say that together. I am one with all of life on planet Earth. And so it is.
With all of life on planet Earth. All is the name of this song, and actually relating it to that, and also relating it to what Reverend Caitlin did this morning in the meditation. Her guided meditation was all about being the mountain. And the very first line of this song is about the mountain. So I know that one mind is a messy thing, but it's here we are. That's Mac and Kristen over there. Woo! Well, every mountain's just a speck, and every lifetime's just a second. Every song that can be sung, everybody, oh, everyone, every time that I forgive, and every star that's up in heaven, every smile on every face, everywhere and every place, it's all more than I can know. everything that I can be, and every sight, well, you can figure that one out, that I can see, every ocean, every tree, every possibility, everything that I don't know, or that is or isn't so, every now and every then, every once and every when. It's what? It's all more than I can know. All above me and below. All forever and a day. What else is there to say? More than I can know. All above me and below. All forever and a day. What else is there to say? Anyway.
Did we mention that was written by Al Yankee?
You guys know how to rock, don't you? Before we go into our offering and affirmative giving statement, I just wanted to acknowledge a few other people. So in our congregation today, we have David Wilkerson. And so most of you know that there was a bell that was given to his mother, and that is a beautiful Ruth Wilkerson. Her picture's on the piano. And yesterday, Daryl Prince and Stephen Yandel went over to David's house, and they loaded up the stand for the bell, and it is now deposited beautifully in our meditation garden. So we can open the garden up if you want to go in and see it a little bit later. It's beautiful. It's in there. It's right where it's supposed to be. It's in a beautiful place. So thank you. Thank you for that. So thank you guys. So Daryl and Steve were the muscle. And Daryl's like, Sonja Prince, you're not going to have me here all day being your muscle. I'm going home. I got stuff to do. So he did. So anyway, I just wanted to share that, and I wanted to thank David Wilkerson again, and thank Daryl and properly acknowledge Daryl and Steve Yandel for getting over here and getting that done for us. All right. So now it's time for our offering. It's time for our conscious giving. So I invite you to consider that the same portal from which you give from is indeed the same portal from which you receive. So let's expand into being bigger and bolder givers, as well as bigger and bolder receivers. So join me by placing your tithes, gifts, and offerings over your heart and affirm with me. From the love of pure spirit within me, I bless this gift. I send it forth to heal and prosper and bless.
Prosper and bless.
It is evidence of my faith and my belief.
Evidence of my faith and my belief.
It does great works in the world.
Does great work in the world.
And it returns to me multiplied abundantly.
And returns to me multiplied abundantly.
And so it is.
Thank you for giving. Thank you for receiving. And thank you for being who you are. Thank you for breathing. And thank you for believing. Thank you for being who you are. The universe is flowing with love that's ever growing, and you are a vessel of that love. So thank you for caring, and bless you for your sharing. Thank you for being who you are. Thank you for being who you are.
So I invite the congregation to stretch your hands forward. I bless these tithes and gifts and offerings, knowing that they are sufficient to cover the needs of CSL Redlands, which is a successful idea in the mind of God. How good it is to speak this word and know the truth. Know this truth now for us, for CSL Redlands, for yourself. As we say together, and so it is. I'm going to have the healing. I want you to say kinship. You know, now it's time for our healing prayer. And we've talked about the earth. We've talked about our connection with it and how we need to nurture it. The talk title was Earth Force Reporting for Duty, which is a call to action for all of us. And I could do a healing prayer right now, but one thing that I wanted to say is that I think Gilman expressed it so beautifully of our charge as stewards of this earth in his song Kidship. So I'm going to invite Gilman to play that song again for us. And then we will affirm it all in the end when he's done.
Everything's a part of me, animals and rocks and trees. I relate responsibly. All life is my kin. Everything's a part of me, lovers, friends, and families. I relate responsibly. All life is my kin. Everything's a part of me, planets, stars, and galaxies.
If you want to close your eyes.
I relate responsibly. All life is my kin. All life is my kin.
All life is my kin. And so it is. Thank you. Beautiful.
Let the light of spirit shine through me. Let the light of spirit shine through you. As our grace and love make this a brighter world. Let the light of spirit shine on. Let the light of spirit shine through me. Let the light of spirit shine through you. As our grace and love make this a brighter world. Let the light of spirit shine on. Shine on, shine on, shine on, shine on, shine on, shine on. Let the light of spirit shine on. Let the light of spirit shine through me. You can sing it with me. Let the light of spirit shine through you. As our grace and love make this a brighter world. Let the light of spirit shine on. Shine on. Shine on. Shine on. Shine on. Shine on. Shine on, shine on. Let the light of spirit shine on. Let the light of spirit shine on. Let the light of spirit shine on. You've got to let it shine on.